Hi, everyone, and welcome back. And let's see, we're talking once again about I'm with Elizabeth Chapin-Pinotti, and Elizabeth, the new school, the Shenandoah Valley School. What was its impetus? Why did we come up with that idea?
Well, I've spent the last year listening to the board discussing alternative programs and the need that the board saw and that the community felt for different ways to teach students. We know that everybody doesn't learn the same way and that there should be a variety of options. And the truth of the matter is, as we move into middle school, our enrollment declines. We lose students who aren't necessarily ready for a junior high, or their parents don't necessarily want that environment. People want options. So some of our students actually go to other counties who have programs that better fit the need, more hybrid programs, smaller programs. And so listening to the community and to parents and to the school board, we thought, why not create our own?
Okay, now that's a good idea, and I think not only do students or everybody not learn the same way, but if you try to force them to learn certain ways, you're going to lose a lot of you'll lose a lot of those kids because they don't feel comfortable.
Correct.
And if you're not comfortable, you're not going to learn too much, right? Anyway, so the Shenandoah Valley School, how is that going to be different?
That's going to be different in that it's going to be an environment similar to a K-6 classroom. It's going to be hands-on, project-based learning. It's going to have an arts theme and an agriculture theme, a science. For science, kids will hands-on learn science and math. They'll have one teacher who's qualified to teach them art. They'll learn history through readers' theater or studying source documents. So rather than, here's a textbook, read about what George Washington, thought or said, here's some letters that George Washington wrote. Okay.
The reason why you're bringing up probably the founding and that part of American history, is that because that's the subject themes of those grades?
Yeah, eighth grade year in California and most of actually the United States is U.S. history.
Okay.
So that's the curriculum for the eighth grade year, and so why not have students think for themselves? Be creative and divergent and dissect, analyze, and synthesize information as opposed to read this and answer this multiple choice test. Well, read George Washington letters. You figure out what he meant, what he thought in the days leading to the American Revolution.
So they can be reading the Anti-Federalist papers and the Federalist papers?
Federalist, Anti-Federalist. There's some great resources now online with Smithsonian, Colonial Williamsburg, where all these letters, George Mason, Patrick Henry, you can read the private documents. It's
mentioned George
awesome.
Mason. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. From New York.
Exactly.
Okay. I was this kind of student, so or wasn't that kind of student because they didn't have anything for me to fit into there. But anyway, it seems like first of all, let me say this. I think we should probably have as many different kind of schools as we could, or methods, and teachers, of course, to do that, they need a pretty big toolbox to do that, right?
Absolutely. It takes a special teacher, a specific teacher who has an arts background, who is a divergent thinker, who can sit with a group of students and tweak learning based on how the students are reacting that day, or what the students' interests are, or how they engage them, and let the students be active participation in the learning and thinking process. It does take a very special teacher, but they're out there.
Where are they going to be, for lack of a better word, house? Where's the school would be?
Either on the Plymouth Elementary School campus or at the little school that's near the Plymouth Elementary School
is that just
campus.
a meeting place, or they have is this going to be just about like one classroom size?
One or two classroom sizes, and it depends, because there's the whole hacking component that's a hybrid independent study component. So there'll be students who come to school every day. They come at 8 o'clock in the morning, they leave at 2:30, and they do hands-on, they go on field trips, they learn by doing. Then there'll be another group of students who come for an independent study portion, who get their curriculum, who maybe come to do a science lesson or a math lesson or participate in a field trip. but who, take whatever they're interested in, the curriculum that's been devised for them, and do the majority of it at home. So maybe they spend 2 hours. Some students maybe will spend 2 hours a day on campus.
So like a homeschool environment, and also do some classes as well. Do we already have that kind of a look?
No.
For a classroom here?
We have an amazing independent study program, and
Okay.
and that's North Star. And what that is students come an hour a week, talk to
Okay.
a teacher, get their curriculum, and go home and do
Okay.
it. And that's just pure independent study, and that works great for high school students or students who need to work, but not elementary or middle school
Sounds to me
students.
like you're going to need a lot of planning.
A lot of planning.
Okay, meaning, with the parent and the student, and sitting down and saying, well, we'd like to do this. Could you give us an example of what you see?
Well,
Show us a picture.
Parents who would be interested in an educational opportunity like this are very hands-on and want to participate. So that's a good thing. So for the independent study hacking piece, so I see a snowboard over there. So a student comes in and they're very interested in snowboarding, and they're very interested in snow or winter sports. So the teacher takes math and science and finds curriculum and finds books and helps the student navigate through the state standards, which we're required to teach based on his or her interests. Maybe incorporating 4-H. We have a lot of students here that have animal projects or other projects. Well, why can't those animal projects be how they learn in a process for educating and learning to read and do math and write? I mean, those are real life skills. Those are 21st century skills, and so it's working with the student and the teacher, and then providing opportunities for them to come in and socialize as well. Come on the field trip with us, Come while we do art. Come in math if you'd like.
Okay, we're gonna keep talking a little bit, then we'll take a break. Okay, so we've got students coming in, and you brought up a thing for like maybe you would use a snowboarding or a wintry type thing for reading. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so why not find critical nonfiction or nonfiction books or articles on the internet about snowboarding? If you like snowboarding and you're not engaged in school, and I want you to read and engage in school, then why shouldn't I let you read and study and write papers about snowboarding, or make a movie about snowboarding, or a project? Why does it have to be this piece of literature that I say you have to read? So it sort of fills a niche for students who aren't engaged.
Are there some areas, though, that we would want to have the students say, all the students have base knowledge about some things? And
All students need to know their basic math skills. They have to have basic
Okay,
math skills.
I guess
All
I'm
students
there.
need to read and read at grade level. But the thing about California is there's a clause in Ed Code that allows any parent to opt out of any curriculum they don't like for religious reasons, for whatever reason they want. So let's say an 8th grade student didn't want to learn, the parent didn't want them to learn about U.S. history for whatever reason. Well, then we would figure out something else to fill in that blank.
Okay. This isn't about me, but I always thought, like, if you understood math or English skills very well, then that they would set you up for any of the a good career. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back. So stay with us right here on TSPN.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.